Hello, my name is Adil Hassan. I am back for my second vlog. I'm going to be talking about the global success woke movie called Four Lions. The purpose of this movie is to entertain people, which therefore sells their products, in this instance, the movies, to entertain and educate. The main genre of the film is a dark comedy film. We know this because it includes a lot of jokes and it is meant to make the audience laugh. The comedy has been used because although it is a dark comedy film, meaning that it tackles themes that are evil, for example in this movie it would be an extremist, therefore comedy has been used to take out the harshness of the subject. The form of this film, to be exact, is an independent film and its running time is 97 minutes. This film is meant to be based on social realism and the characters in the film are meant to be playing everyday normal life characters. Typical social realist films include gritty and urban stories portraying how difficult life could have been. It is set in South Yorkshire. I shall now be talking about the narrative. The narrative of this film is a black comedy about 5 British wannabe terrorists and bombers made up of fools who want to be known as martyrs but really have no idea or clue of what they are actually doing. The group has a leader, which is Omar. He thinks he is a know-it-all and is always right. The second member, Waj, who portrays himself as very dumb and is the weakling of the group. The third member is Barry. He is bad-tempered and is a convert as he is converted to Islam. Faisal is the fourth member who has lost the plot and tries to train cows as he thinks they can be used as bombers. The final member is recruited by Barry. His name is Hassan, who is looked to join at first. Although this is a comedic film, it includes Todorov's theory said by him in 1977, as we see stage 1. Equilibrium. It starts off with the guy with the gun in his hand in a comedic fashion as he is meant to be acting as a dumb blonde but a male version. Then we don't see any disruption, the disequilibrium. There is no sign of stage 3, which would have been action taken against the disequilibrium, and as the movie finishes we see parts of stage 4, restoration, meaning all balance is restored. However, the film is left on a cliffhanger as all the men end off committing suicide, but we don't know what happens after this. Maybe it could be a sequel. Although there is use of binary opposition said by Levi Strauss, meaning there are opposites within characters, in this instance, in the movie it would be religion versus non-religion. As in the film they are claiming to be bombers in the name of God for their religion. They feel they are the good guys and everybody else is bad and needs to be taught a lesson, which in fact is not true. Overall, with the binary opposition theory, everything can be interpreted in different ways. Now I am going to be talking about mise-en-scène. There are usually 5 different features and mise-en-scène creates a variety of representations. There are 2 different locations for this film. The first is set in South Yorkshire and connotes a social realism atmosphere. Another location is Spain and is meant to look like Afghanistan. We can connote from this that the location have key meanings on the film to have a very similitude appeal to a wider audience. The characters and use of acting gestures play a key part in this film as they are both meant to look realistic. One particular acting gesture happens in the first minute of the film, where the actor Waj has a gun in his hand which shows his male dominance as he says random words, and as a character is meant to come across comedic. Some characters act serious and some are comedic. This connotes that the film will have some form of humour throughout it. The main characters were wearing normal everyday clothes, stereotypically jeans and a jacket, and this connotes the very similitude attribute in the film and is aimed at an everyday target audience. No real use of makeup is used, and one particular character has a hat and some form of religious clothing. On this we can connote he may be religious. There are many props in this film. For example, there are many weapons such as a gun, rocket launcher. These are held by males and it is aimed at a male audience and it connotes their dominance. The use of weapons during the film allows us to connote from this that there will be some form of violence during the film. Low-key lighting is mainly used because it is a very similitude film and it is a low budget production. For example, when we see the film inside the first minute At the start, all the actors are inside a house and the house is gritty, stereotypically average house. We can therefore, the denotation of this is that you can instantly tell that they are not very rich and who the film is aimed at. The colour is mainly dark and dull. There are no real bright colours. It is a very similitude film and it connotes that it's not a high budget. The meaning plays a key role in any film. You have to know your target audience and their preferred reading, said by Stuart Hall in 1980, meaning the audience will watch the film in the same way the producer intended them to. Therefore, we could connote that as this is a comedic film, the producer would want them to laugh and enjoy this film because it is targeting a serious topic of crime. In this particular film, there are many different types of camera shots, but one in particular camera shot I would like to talk about is a long shot. That is the establishing shot. This helps to establish the location. In this shot, we see a hillside and greenery hill. We can establish it is in England, but for people who recognise the area, it is Sheffield, South Yorkshire. This creates very similitude appeal for people and for some people who actually live in the area. Another reason for this long shot is that there are more than one location in the film, therefore this helps to establish where they are at that point in time. Editing shots are used effectively throughout the movie. One particular editing shot is a shot reverse shot. This is when an actor speaks to another actor and the shot moves 3 times to the person and then to the second person, then back to the first person who was speaking. It has been used effectively when Waj talks to Omar about blowing up the internet. In this shot, Waj talks, then the camera goes to Omar and then back to Waj again. This also helps to create a very similitude appeal as it looks realistic and it is almost made to look invisible to the audience. Another editing shot is a cross-cutting. This is when the shot switches in the same location. It is used during the end of this film where all the characters are running for a race. It shows them panicking as it switches to different shots but in the same location. The insert shot, which is a close-up shot, it has been used as a close-up shot of a prop. In this instance, in the 4 Lions trailer, it would be the rocket launcher and we see this first in a wide shot, then we see the main character Omar holding it ready to shoot, then we see a prop in a close-up shot. We can connote that the object has a significance and that it is an important item in this film. Finally, moving on to sound, which includes diegetic and non-diegetic sound. It is used throughout the movie. A few examples are, in this scene, there is a use of diegetic sound when the actor Waj is shooting the gun up in the air, and this is meant to connote a realistic atmosphere as it makes you imagine really that he is shooting the gun up in the air. And they are abroad in Afghanistan. This also helps to set the scene as you would not be able to do that in England. During the 48-minute of the film, more diegetic sound is used in the scene. The character Hassan, who is dancing to the music, which another female who we only see once, it connotes that they are dancing in a house, in their own house, and this is meant to be very similitude and is meant to add humour to the film in a realistic way. In this scene, there is both diegetic and non-diegetic sound. The diegetic sound is when the trailer comes or the men 3 cars sing along to it, and slowly camera shot shows the rest of the city and not the car. Non-diegetic sound comes when the music plays, and this is an effective method for the audience. Finally, the production process. The production process for the location would be done during pre-production, and we know this because you have to plan the location of the film before actually producing and filming, as you would have to consider the target audience and the location and the impact it would have once the film was produced. The production process for costume was pre-production and production stage. The audience the film is aimed at is a very similitude audience, and the team would have used casual clothes, not clothes that are top of the range and branded, as it is meant to look realistic. Finally, the lighting and colour filters are used in all stages: pre-production, production and post-production. The lighting would be done in the first 2 stages as it is meant to be very similitude. Usually the lighting is low key. Colour filters would be done during post-production as it is a form of a special effect, and it would be done once all the filming has been done, as it would be the easiest to do. Thank you for listening.